Hi everyone, my name is Burgess. Welcome to another video, and today we're going to learn to paint a hibiscus flower. Now when I say we, I also mean me, because I've never actually painted. I don't usually paint flowers, and so this will be the first time I'm painting it. Now I'm going to put a copy of this up on the screen for you, so that if you wish you can print it out and take a screenshot and print it out and use it as your template. What I want to do is I want to take this is not a putty rubber, it's actually a blue tack, and what I'm going to do is just gently remove some of the marks here. Okay, now that we have removed the lines, I mean, you don't have to, it's perfectly okay to keep the lines there. In fact, I can still see them, which might be a good thing, because this is not going to be a loose flower. So what I'm going to do is wet each petal individually and drop the color in. So let's do one leaf to show you how it's done. Now I'm going around this anther, I think that's what it's called, because I don't want it sort of covering that, because that's a lighter color. Take a dark, sort of a red color, like that. And then what I want to do is take this sort of toothpick type of thing and wipe some of it off, and then a bit more, and go along the edges here. I've never done this before, so I don't know whether this is actually coming out right, but I suppose it's worth having a go. Just change the brush to a smaller one. We're all experimenting. That's what I meant when I said we, because I'm learning as well. Try doing the same thing with the next leaf, and let's work on, I don't know, let's work on this one. We wet it again. This is not a botanical study, it's just a sort of an impression, I suppose, to some degree. And the paper I'm using is the Arch smooth surface, and I chose that because I wanted to try it. I've never used it for anything other than a horse painting I did about a couple of years ago. So again, we do the same thing. Drop it in like that, and then again we take the cocktail stick. Again, wipe some of it off and work along the edges. In fact, what we can do is go back in to put a bit more the ends there. And we can put a bit more at the ends here. I want to darken the centers a bit more, and I'm using a darker color. thing with watercolors is that they dry at least 30 to 40% lighter, maybe even more. So you might find that when you put down a color, it looks lighter than you'd expected it to be, and that means that you do need to go back in and add a bit more layers. Okay, so now that's how I'm going to paint all the leaves. But again, what I want to do is just to show you, because I'm going to speed up the video when I'm painting the other leaves, or even just turn it off and then show you what the result is. Darken the centers as much as you can. Cocktail stick to move it around, or even any pointed object that's not like a needle. Okay, so let's turn this off, and I'll come back to you when the whole flower is done. Okay, I've done 4 of the 5 petals, and I want to do the 5th one again in front of you just to try and show you how I did it. So I'm going to do the whole thing again. So let's just wet the petal. Some of the color out from the base, from the center. Use a darker red, any dark red will do. Some in the ends of the petals. See, the other petals have dried. I'm going to try and add some shading to some areas. For example, that one here, we can. You don't have to be botanically correct, but it helps if it has some shadows and things. A darker color between some of the ends, so it looks like they're sort of folding. I'm just folding over some of the ends of the petals, as you can see, like that. So it looks like the ends are sort of folding over the ends of the petals. And I'm using a very dark color for this, and we can do it with some of them, or even all of them. There we are. Just a quick, I don't know how to describe it. Just a sort of a little C shape at the end. Trying to add a bit of a dark color just to try and separate the leaves out a little bit. Again, we're not aiming for a botanically accurate painting. The thing I want to do is switch to the rigger and pick up some dark colors and just put some lines in like that, just sort of like this. Some of the shadows could be this part once the petals have dried. I'm going to do the anther, which is this long thing here. With this I'm going to use cadmium yellow with a bit of red in it to make it sort of orange, and put that in. The ends are sort of red. We can again go in with the rigger. Again, it's not a botanically accurate painting, so just a few dots here will do. We go in with the orange again that we made earlier and just the lines in. Go back in. We can go back to that in a minute. Now I want to turn to at least one leaf and one of the stems so that I can show you how that's done. Well, how I do it anyway. We just make a green color. Paint one of the leaves. Let's paint this one. So I'm going to wet the leaf. And we can burnt sienna to that. We're going to take not a botanically accurate leaf. We're going to do the same thing with another leaf. Let's do another leaf here. Let's do this one, and then I'll turn the camera off again so that you can see what it's like once I've done all of them. But I want to show you how to do a couple, or how I do a couple, how I think it could be done, and then you can copy it if you wish. and take this. It allows for a lot of blending, which I've just this is what I'm noticing with this arch paper, or arch as they call it. So I'm going to do all the leaves. Now let's try this one. This one is sort of bent over a little bit, and we're going to do this one as well. The front part first because it's bent over. We can do the other leaf as well, the other part, but we want to make it lighter, so we can lift a little out. Just lift it. With that rigger, we're going to put a bit of colour back in. And now I'm going to use the same method to paint the other leaves. Okay, there are a couple of things I still want to do. There's a bud here, and I'm going to put that in. And again, for that, I'm going to use red, the same red that I've been using before. And again, what I'm going to start off by doing is wetting it first. I'm going to take the red sort of diagonal. I'm going to take that cocktail stick again. Take more of that red and paint in the other petal here. That's sort of showing. I want a really dark colour here. And what I've done here is I've added burnt sienna, which is a good red to use for darkening, I think. use the green, the same sort of leafy greens that we mixed before. You don't have to pay too much attention to detail for these. Over a little bit of these because they're good shadows here with the green. I want to go back into that flower. It's not really it's not meant to be an accurate botanically accurate painting, so there are errors in it. I'm okay with that. I don't mind. I'm not a botanical painter. Yeah. You can still go back in and add some shadows here. Leaves are bending. Just for this last one, I'm going to add lots of little dots. Shadow here, give it some 3D effect and form. So here we are. Here's our hibiscus. I hope you learned something from that. I hope it was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Do have a go, and see you next time. Thank you.